Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good afternoon, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're all having a fantastic start to your Friday. Down in Conklin, Michigan, this Saturday will be the latest installment of the Brewery Running Series as it comes to Michigan. If you're wondering what that is, well, you're in luck. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. And to mention just some of the other elements that you can expect this Saturday, we are now being joined by Morgan Jappy. She is the co-founder of the Brewery Running Series. Morgan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, no, very excited to talk about this. I found it very interesting when I first read about this national organization that's hosting all these races and come to find out that it's coming to West Michigan. If you don't mind, though, since it is a sort of a national brand, would you mind just telling us in general what is the Brewery Running Series?
Sure. Well, it's a mouthful to start,
yeah.
But it's exactly like what it sounds. I'm one of the co-founders. I live in Minnesota, but we have locations across the country, including Michigan. We organize fun run events at breweries and cideries and a couple wineries in there too. But we started with our first event in 2012 and have expanded from there. The Michigan chapter has been going strong since 2020. So Catherine and Gary, local event directors in Michigan, organize a series of events based on the spots that they want to visit and want to travel to, map out a 5K-ish course. It's a fun run, so we don't do a chip time. All ages, all levels are welcome. Starts and ends at the brewery or the tap room for that given day. Participants register in advance usually, but we do have same-day registration available. Show up on event day, complete the course, and enjoy the afternoon with a craft beverage at the finish line. Some fun goodies. They get to pick a swag item of choice, are entered into some door prize giveaways, might enjoy live music or some food trucks. All the various event details vary per event, but it's all in good fun and an excuse to get out and be active.
Right, exactly. And you mentioned a little bit about the history of the Brewery Running Series. Could you maybe just touch on, how did this idea even come about? I think it's, you mix beer with running. It sounds like a match made in heaven, but how exactly did you guys come up with this idea to really put these races in the vicinity of these major breweries and cideries and all that good stuff?
Well, it happened over a beer, believe it or not. But my friend and fellow co-founder Nate and I sat down, just wanted to do some things in our community. This was over 10 years ago now. And the brewery scene in our part of the world was just kind of up and coming. So we organized an event. It was in celebration of Global Running Day. Started and ended at a brewery, and it was a success. It was a ton of fun. The event sold out. We had a great crowd. People were really, positive and receptive of what we had organized. And it just so happened that next year, quite a few more breweries opened up in the area. So we said, hey, let's do a couple more. So we went from one event to 7 to 17 to 27 to now we operate over 300 events across the country. Wow. Local organizers like Catherine and Gary in Michigan have, reached out. They've connected with us in some way, and we set them up with, the basic gist of the business, but they're in charge, managing their events, deciding how many they organize and where they go. And it's been really fun to see this, just one-off idea blossom into a national series.
Right. No, and you mentioned the Michigan chapter hosting the race this Saturday, and that kind of leads me into my next question, Morgan. This race itself will be at Pux Cider Orchard on Saturday starting at noon. For those who are maybe curious to know a little bit more about it, I do encourage everybody to head on over to our website, woodtv.com. We've got tons of information, including links where you can sign up for the race itself. But Morgan, talk a little bit about what people can expect when they head on out to one of these races.
Well, it is just a great way to get together, whether it's an excuse to get the family out of the house for a day, or maybe you just need a reason to go somewhere. It's truly all ages, all levels are welcome. And at the event, you'll show up, you'll check in, we'll get you out on the course all together. But it's whatever pace feels comfortable to you. The course will navigate the area around the brewery, around the tap room. We don't close the roads, so you're stopping at intersections and looking both ways and being safe. But that said, we do have arrows along the route so you know where to go. Make sure that you feel comfortable navigating the course. And then when you cross the finish line, you get a wooden nickel or a token for a free craft beverage. And it's all about, supporting local businesses, an excuse, like I said, to just get out and enjoy the weekend. This particular brewery, Pux Cider, I should say, has some really awesome history to it as well. This particular spot is on a farm, and you're navigating through the orchard. The farm has been in the family since the 1800s. So we really invite, that's part of why we do this, is it's a reason to get out and support these local businesses that have cool history themselves. And this particular one sounds really beautiful.
Right, absolutely. And Morgan, you talked a lot about just what people can expect and sort of the things that people will be able to enjoy supporting local businesses as well on top of that. But for people that you've hooked them on, they're ready to go, they're ready to participate in one of these runs, what is sort of the best way for them to do so? How do they register for these events? As I mentioned, there's ways on our website, but is there maybe some other ways for people to do it? What's sort of the preferred way to get people on out there?
Signing up in advance is great. That just helps us make sure you get the information that you need to participate. You can sign up for all of our events at breweryrunningseries.com. You'll find the Michigan chapter there. You can sort by location, by brewery name, or even just visit the Michigan page within our website. But breweryrunningseries.com is a great place to go.
All right, and Morgan, wrapping up with these sorts of conversations, I like to, at the very end, turn it over to the person I'm talking to and really let them have the floor. So I'm going to give you the floor now. Why should people head on down to Pux Cider Orchard this Saturday at noon and participate in the latest installment of the Michigan Brewery Running Series?
Well, the one thing we didn't cover, we talked about being active, we talked about having fun, being at a brewery at Pux Cider on Saturday, but a really important business and part of our mission is to give back. So a portion of all proceeds from Saturday's event goes to Allie Werner, a scholarship in her name, who was one of the victims of the MSU shooting past February. Every event gives back to an organization that's local in the area or a cause that we really want to support. So not only do you get an excuse to have some fun and get out of the house, but we're helping contribute to our community. That goes across the board, across all of our events. So it's a good reason and icing on the cake to feel good about running the 5K.
Absolutely. Definitely a good cause to be a part of there. Morgan, thank you so much for stopping by the live desk today. And I want to remind everybody that if you are interested in heading on down to Pux Cider Orchard this Saturday, you can find all the information and even a link to register in advance, like Morgan said, over on our website, woodtv.com. If you're watching us on Facebook, just head on down to the description box or the comment section. You'll find a link there. Morgan, once again, thank you so much for coming on today. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely, and we hope that everybody else watching has a great rest of their day. Thank you so much for tuning into the latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk.